It's a Wednesday night. You guys know what that means. It is AEW Dynamite come and gone, even with a surprise commercial break in the overrun of a few minutes already. But hey, we're here. We're live. It's usually the ballpark when we start anyways, but who gives a crap? It's Jose Gonzalez. It is my esteemed colleague, JPJ, and we are here for the first Dynamic'd up post AEW All In Texas. JPJ, what a show on Saturday.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic show. Yeah, I mean, I loved it from top to bottom. I thought there wasn't a bad thing on the show. Obviously, the Adam Cole stuff was like, that was emotional and sad, and it kind of brought the crowd down a bit. But I thought, other than that, I thought the whole show was good, and the ending was perfect. And yeah, it was just a hell of a time. It was just
and it was out of nowhere too, which really sucks. I hope, hoping for the best. Obviously, it seems a lot more grave than we know, but
absolutely
I'm not gonna speculate on that. I will say the hype for Y'all In really delivered on all fronts. I thought it was a great way to have a big stadium show in the U.S. finally for AEW. Our friends that went had a great time.
Oh, yeah.
The crowd looked great on TV. The feed held up for the most part pretty well on at least on my end on Triller. I don't know how other people were watching it, but honestly, seldom complaints with All In, and this fall that we have is already shaping up to make a very interesting road to Forbidden Door.
Yes.
However, before we get into that, I know there's a little thingy on the top right of our screen. I know it's been a little bit since we talked about it on this show, but as always, Body Slam, working with Shroom Bar. What is Shroom Bar, Jose? I'm so glad you asked, Jose. So this week's podcast is brought to you by Shroom Bar, the protein mushroom bar. It's made up of not psychedelics but 4 powerful mushroom adaptogens. It has lion's mane, which increases focus, memory, and neuroplasticity, making it easier to form new patterns and learn new things. Next time trying to learn that new move, it'll actually stick in your head rather than forgetting it immediately. It has cordyceps, which increases VO2 max, blood flow, and overall endurance. It has reishi, which decreases stress. It has turkey tail, which boosts your immune system, and we all know you all need that on those nasty-ass gym mats. I know I needed it a few weeks ago. I know JPJ needed it a few weeks ago, so maybe the call is coming from inside the house. But beyond that, there's also 12 grams of protein. So if you guys are interested in trying Shroom Bar for the first time, go to eatshroombar.com. Use code BODYSLAM. You get 25% off of your very first order. Who doesn't like that?
I mean, it's a great deal.
Yeah. Some might say it's a big fucking deal, but as always, Shroom Bar holding it down for Body Slam. And if you guys want to make sure that not only are you part of the conversation, but you're getting presented on screen, you could send a slam chat over on the YouTube. We will show you loud. We'll show you proud. Just make sure it's nothing you don't want your boss finding out about you. So, think about what you want to share publicly, and perhaps we will. But we do kick off tonight's Dynamite with the brand new AEW World Championship in hand. It's not in a briefcase anymore. We finally went from the American Dragon side plates to some other side plates for Hangman Adam Page. He got the job done in the main event at All In, and my God, that Texas death match was a sight to see.
Oh, it was so good. We had, all the run-ins and all the chaos at the end that we all knew was coming. It was just wonderful, and it started quickly.
They wasted no time.
A couple minutes into the match, the fork, gross, just so great. You could see the cuts.
It was a squirt
forming.
Too.
It was gross, and it was like, all right, and that was right at the beginning, and it was like, here we go, and it was violent. It was emotional. All the stuff at the end, the video from Darby at the top of Everest was awesome. And then Danielson was incredible. And then it was just a thing of beauty. And then you got the meme of Swerve now in forever. That's out there. Yeah. It was a thing of beauty. It was a perfect story. And when Hangman took the title out, and I do a show, Firmly Inc. in the mornings with Drew over on Love Wrestling, and the thing that's bothered him the most about all this is he wanted to see the title. We haven't seen the belt. Yep. I'm not that intense about that, but when he took the belt out of there, it felt good. It felt good. And the Danielson plates on the belt, that was such a wonderful touch for them to do, because it showed that Moxley really didn't give a shit. Like, he was just like, they still had the Danielson plates. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. It was perfect.
The
I
only
loved
thing that could have made it better is if the crowd went home singing Pink Pony Club, but that's just me.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
would've-
2 cents.
That would have been fun. That would have been fun.
But alas, Hangman makes his way out to the ring to a chorus If You Deserve It chants from the Chicago crowd. The first night of a 6-show residency between Dynamite and Collision, so that's going to be
Very
fun.
cool looking venue as well. Very cool.
Yeah, I will say I kind of wish they didn't have the hard cam all the way up on the ramp, just because it felt like we were missing a lot of the other stuff in the ballroom. But I think the architecture actually looked really cool. So,
and it looked fitting for Hangman, like the cowboy. It looked like that kind of style. I was like, it's very fitting for him to be out there, like as the champ tonight, because it looked like it was like built for him almost.
Yeah, no, it was actually a really great venue. But he mentions like it's not him that deserves all those chants. It's the AEW fans, because they demanded better. They demanded complete wrestlers. They love our grassroots approach, and they made sure that without those fans, there's no AEW. So they start chanting, "We deserve it," which I thought was actually kind of cool. He goes on, starts thanking everybody that he's encountered along the way, including Orange Cassidy, Switchblade Jay White, Adam Copeland, the Ops, and especially thanking Bryan Danielson and Darby Allin for their stuff. He also said that when he won the Owen Hart finals at Double or Nothing, that it was Will Ospreay that reminded him why he loved pro wrestling. And he knows that he wasn't able to walk out of All In under his own volition, but he really does thank Will Ospreay. And then we get to the curious case of his, at one point, mortal enemy. He said he didn't know if he did it for himself. He didn't know if he did it for AEW. He didn't know if he did it for Hangman. But he does say thank you to Swerve Strickland. Who does not come out to the ring for this? We'll see him later, but like, it's kind of crazy that we have like him finally thanking Swerve, and then this whole episode they're on completely different paths. Which, hey, you know what? Kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
if they need to go back to it, they will. But he mentions that All In Weekend was a roller coaster. Not only was he shedding so much blood in that Texas death match, but he's also shedding a few tears. And he mentions that people like John Moxley would say that it's a weakness of him. It makes him less of a man. But he wants them to look at him because he knows his wife, his children, they love him. It's the fans that can look out to Hangman. They can respect him. And if you want to know what kind of man Hangman is, you could look right at him because he's the champion of the motherfucking world.
Champion of the fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Yep. Yeah. Just a great, good feel home, like a feel good present promo for the beginning of the show. I'm getting tongue tied because it has been a long day, but you know, maybe I need a shroom bar. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Right.
But we also find out that in the main event tonight for Dynamite, it's going to be Hangman Adam Page team with Mark Briscoe and Powerhouse Hobbs and some trios action against the Death Riders. And then we get into a big video package looking back at everything from All In, so all the highlights and everything too. A really good show. I mean, it bears repeating. I think I prefer this All In much more to last year's.
I agree. Even though obviously this one was longer, and that's fine. It didn't feel the testament to it was a 6-hour show, and it never felt like it was.
And
it
honestly,
never felt like it was.
If you know AEW always runs a longer show, why don't they start at midday for all of them?
Yeah. I would be perfectly okay if they did like a 3 or 4 o'clock start for all of these shows. And I get it. It's a Saturday afternoon, potentially. I get it. Like plans and things like that. But if they started all these shows at 4 and they just ran till 10 o'clock or whatever, but they were these type of shows where, again, there was not really everything kind of hit. It was fun. It was good. Like, I would have no problem with it.
Yeah, and I mean, especially considering the criticism they got with Dynasty early this year, going like well past midnight, and then for it to end the way it did, I think they realized not only is it going to be the biggest show of the year, we know we're going to need more time, so we're going to do it early. We're going to give a little bit of grace to our fans in Europe to make sure like they have a decent viewing experience by starting it when they did, but you know all the things. Oh, can it be? Is it the real Auntie Collins with a $9.99 slam chat? All the love to you. On the fence about Okada's new theme, but love Kyle Fletcher's new theme. Funny enough, you mentioned that because I thought that Okada's new theme is a fucking banger. But
I didn't mind it. I saw a lot of vitriol it was getting on the socials.
I quite enjoyed it, but that's just
I
me,
thought it was I thought it was fun. I enjoyed Fletcher's as well.
I mean, I didn't really notice Kyle Fletcher's because I feel like he's kind of had something similar to that for the last few weeks anyways. So
I don't think it is, but the opening like scream or whatever, it sounds like Bring Me the Horizon, if you know
Auntie
that.
Collins saying for me to call her a hater. I mean, I could call you a hater, but I don't know if you can throw a nice clothesline. So That's also hater with a Y. So,
Wow. Fighting words.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of fighting words, we go from our video package from All In to the arrival of the former EVPs, Matt and Nick Jackson. We don't have to use full government names anymore.
Nope.
Long gone is the limousine. They showed up in a very humble Uber X. It looked like a Toyota Prius of sorts.
Yeah.
They're carrying their own luggage and they're going through the gate. So already, I'm loving them getting knocked down a few pegs, which it couldn't have happened to a better team. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is going to be a lot of fun. The Bucks kind of being bums.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I just think everybody's going to, even like, we'll get to it, but like, I think everyone's going to be shitting on them and they're just going to have to take it and it's going to be hilarious.
And I don't see an issue with that. Turnabout's fair play.
Yep.
They've been doing it for years. They could get theirs back now. So, but it does lead us into our first bit of action on tonight's episode. We had the Proto Star Kyle Fletcher in action against CMLL's Mascara Dorada. Surprisingly, Don Callis not on commentary for this match. Mm-hmm. He would eventually make his way on commentary later. He's out for 3 match segments tonight.
It's a lot.
Why?
Yeah, it's a lot.
3 match segments. He had a backstage
he was all over the show.
Choices. But this match was a great opener.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen much of Mascara Dorada myself, but my God, I think they mentioned on commentary he's only 24. Kyle Fletcher only being 26. Those guys have the brightest futures ahead of them.
I've only seen Dorada when he's been in AEW matches, which is only like 2, 3, maybe less than a handful of times. I feel like very impressive. Very, very impressive. And to be that young and this good, and obviously we know how good Kyle Fletcher is. The last year, he has just elevated himself to a superstar status and being so like he took an unfortunate circumstance and his tag partner getting hurt, and he turned it into like life changing. Like he's a superstar forever now. Like, and it's just it's crazy.
Which is crazy to see because I mean Mark Davis is technically part of DCF, but he's just gotten the cold shoulder over the last few weeks. So it really kind of stinks that like the tag team you guys had that was like a global thing and like super over. It kind of fell to the wayside, but I mean, all things considered, Kyle Fletcher is going to be due a singles championship very soon. I thought he was going to get it at All In until obviously things changed with Adam Cole having to vacate the title for health reasons, and then Dustin Rhodes winning the TNT title, which I did not have on my bingo board.
Okay, can we? All right, I'm not going to be that guy because I understand why they did that because the Adam Cole thing clearly was a bummer and it brought the crowd down. And I don't think the crowd really fully got back alive until the tag match after the 4-way.
Right.
So I understand like a feel good moment after that, but I
don't think that was a feel good moment though.
To me, I don't think it was either. It was like, and this is nothing against Dustin Rhodes. I also don't think he needs 3 titles.
He doesn't need to be a triple champion, 2 of them being tag titles in Ring of Honor that are not so defended as is. But then on top of that, you're also doing it, rolling up Daniel Garcia, who was almost screwed out of All In because of a stipulation they did on Collision a couple weeks ago, who has been over with the crowd. It just, I don't know.
To me, like I said, I understand why they did what they did, right? Because they were like, we're going to give the crowd a feel-good moment because this is going to be a little bit of a downer. Let's fine. But to me, I think even though he's a heel, if they just would have because we all thought that Kyle Fletcher was going to win this match against Adam Cole, and this was going to be his moment to be a singles champion. To me, if he still wins that match, even though he's a heel, I think the crowd appreciates that still. Like, I don't think that's a bad moment for the crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it just means that it's probably going to happen at All Out instead of All In. But, I mean, to each their own. I think the bigger thing here is just going back to the match is that we saw a lot of offense from Dorada that we don't normally see. Like, I think he was diving all sorts of inside and out of the ring. At one point, I think he did like a double springboard arm drag, which looked cool as shit. Yeah. He had Kyle Fletcher sitting on the top rope, and he went from the outside of the ring in with like a twisting hurricane rana. the stuff that they were coming up with in this match, they were balling their asses off, and then you just see it all come to a head where Kyle Fletcher lawn darts Dorada into the middle turnbuckle, and then seals the deal with a big brain buster for the win, and then immediately getting to the camera calling out Dustin Rhodes, basically saying that he took that title from him all in, and now he wants to take everything away from Dustin. So definitely sights still set on the TNT Championship. So
yeah, and that's. I was gonna say that's what it should do. Like again. This just delays the inevitable. Like he's going to get that title. He's just going to go after Dustin Rhodes now instead of, whatever. But yeah, I thought this match was very good. I would like to see, I would like to see more of Dorada. I would like to see more of him. He was excellent. He was very good.
There's no way in hell he's not going to be a Forbidden Door.
Yeah, he should be.
Honestly, what you could do is, even if it's not going to be them involved in like a bigger match at Forbidden Door, if you do a 0 hour, I want Dorada versus Hologram.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Beast Mortos or something.
Yeah. Did I hear that WWE was also interested in Mascara Dorada as well? I'm pretty sure I heard something about that as well. Or they were looking at him.
But
yeah. At 24, I mean, that's, yeah. True. Yeah. Hopefully, we just get to see more of him because I have been very impressed.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not a thing where like WWE tries to just immediately scoop him up like they did Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand the demand for it, obviously, but I feel like AEW make use of that relationship with CMLL to its fullest for sure.
Yes, 100%.
And then after the match, we go backstage with Renee Paquette and the Young Bucks looking for their locker room, which gets converted. Renee really just empathizing with them, realizing just it was a horrible stipulation, just trying to see how they were feeling.
Sure.
And the Bucks not taking too kindly to everybody enjoying their misfortune. The theme for the episode, especially with all the Young Bucks stuff, it's going to be a big word, folks. Say it with me. It's Schadenfreude. It's
Schadenfreude.
It means happiness at the misfortune of others. If you want to learn more about that, there's a song from the musical Avenue Q that really breaks it down. I can't really play it on the air because I might get in trouble, but
fair.
I recommend if there's anything that can teach you about Schadenfreude, it's Adult Sesame Street. So, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the Avenue Q shtick. Is that it's all like Muppets and stuff, but it's like very adult humor. It was
all right.
Best Picture or Best Musical on Broadway for the Tonys in 2003, beating out Wicked.
Wow.
Yeah. So all
right.
If you ever go on the YouTubes and look up Avenue Q, you're going to be very amused by some of the shit that they were doing with puppets. So
I it is what it is. But I recently, like within the last month and a half, saw Wicked for the first time. The movie.
I was gonna say the movie. I enjoyed it.
I was impressed. Yep.
Part 2 in November. Can't wait.
Yep.
So,
yep.
But speaking of things that apparently can't wait, is that Matt and Nick, they're vulnerable and never want to shy away from capitalizing on someone who's vulnerable. Insert Don Callis mentioning, Kenny Omega's dead. We have that parasite basically gone. Nothing's going to infect us. We should get the band back together. You guys definitely need some sort of allyship because you have no one right now.
Mm-hmm.
Matt seemed very gung-ho. Nick seemed a little less gung-ho, but it turns out that they're going to talk with Don, see how things go, and leads to one of the most awkward group hugs I've ever seen in my life.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, Nick Jackson really not buying it. Matt looked like he was feeling it more than he is, so I'm very curious to see. I don't think there's going to be dissension between the Bucks. I feel like they haven't really
I don't think so.
Have they?
No, not since AEW or anything like that ever. So I don't think so. They've never really they've fought in each other, right? They've wrestled against each other one-on-one, have they not?
I don't know, to my knowledge. I mean,
maybe in New Japan, maybe. I don't know.
If someone wants to go in cage match, be my guest, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I did know. But Matt made it very clear as well. He was like, just so you know, we are never joining the Don Callis family. We're never joining. But he was like, but yeah, this seems okay for us. So, and I think someone on commentary said it doesn't. They'll just do whatever it takes, right? They'll just do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So it definitely seems like another case of allies of convenience on a wrestling program. It's a radical concept. It's never been done before. But we do come back from the commercial break. Hurt Syndicate is backstage for a little promo sesh. MVP saying, they'd want to celebrate after All In, but what's there to celebrate? They knew they were going to retain the world tag titles. They know that they've still been begging for a team to step up and take them from them, for them to stop being so scared because it's getting boring on their part. which leads us into the MJF part of the segment where he's talking about how glad he is that Hangman won. And though, yeah, he probably could have beaten Moxie pretty easily, knowing how weakened he was at All In. But now it's about how Hangman is telling the fans that he's the best, but Max doubles down that he is the best in the world. He's calling that contract of his a break the glass in case of emergency thing, but it's only the first moment of peace that Hangman's known in quite some time. But Max can be that depression that sends him spiraling back down. Hangman could be the main character all he wants, but MJF has no issue being the bad guy because, as always, nice guys finish last, and the Hurt Syndicate ain't nice at all.
I liked it. Liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Max was excellent as always, but I really liked MVP. His spot at the end. At the end, really, when he leaned in and he was like, "Yeah, we're not nice at all." No. I love this whole thing. I love Max. He felt like the right guy to win that gauntlet. We, kind of felt that way, and he feels like the right guy. And I like how he said, "I'm just gonna get to you on my own, and then I'll just keep this as a, if I need to use it, I will. But I can get to you and beat you on my own, just being me." And I loved it. I loved it.
And the thing that gets me is that I hate to admit it, but he's actually become a really good addition to the Hurt Syndicate.
This is working.
I didn't think it was going to, but I'll be damned if it's actually not going over well. So
Yep. If they do more promos and more stuff like that, where they kind of they went off each other and things like that, this is working a lot better than I thought it was. It's very, very good.
Yeah, and I like the fact that even though like MJF is going after world title, it still feels very much like all four members of the Hurt Syndicate are equals the way they should be. So
absolutely,
good on you, whoever is working in AEW Creative for making sure the stable is unified on who's in charge. But leads us into an 8-man tag team match. So of the DCF, we have Josh Alexander and Hechicero teaming alongside the Young Bucks, who have a new little introduction. We got a little Comic Sans moment. We got their Titantron looking like a DVD screensaver.
Yeah.
With flashbacks to them losing it all in. And then Justin Roberts with a phenomenal introduction. They used to be EVPs and now they're not. Matt and Nick. And then as they're like trying to pressure him, Jackson, the Young Bucks.
It's so good. And then they get him into the corner and he's like, what? And they're like, and he's like, what? Like he's not, what are you going to do? Oh man, that was good. Yeah. See, the things like this, it's just going to be a blast. It's just going to be a blast.
Just doing their job. Don Callis is on commentary for this one, so yippee. But they're going against Kevin Knight, Speedball, Mike Bailey, making up Jet Speed, the Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito, and Brody King. And this was a pretty good 8-man tag. If there's one thing that AEW knows how to do is they can make a really good multi-person tag match.
Yeah, this was very good. This was a lot of fun. All 8 of these guys looked incredible in this match. Bandito, man. Bandito is
I still need to go back
really
and watch
good.
that Supercard match with Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah.
Fun fact that Taz brought up was how they were getting Lucha Libre chants when it was him and Hechicero in the ring. I had no idea that Chicago had such a big Mexican expat community. So
yes,
who would have thought that Lucha? I mean, we know wrestling is huge in Chicago, but I didn't think Lucha specifically was going to be so huge. But hey, I dig it.
That was pretty cool. That was a cool chant when that started, and yeah, that was a little bit of history that I didn't know either.
Yeah, the human history machine, Taz. Good on you. But we also have everybody getting their shit in this match. I mean, at one point, the Bucks kind of clear the ring before the break. You saw that double stomp that Matt hit on Speedball Mike Bailey led to a big power bomb by Nick. But I think the big turning point in the match was they had Kevin Knight down after the break, and it looked like they were going to go for the EVP trigger, to which they realized they are no longer EVPs.
Yeah.
So they're trying to think of what they could have said instead, and it leads Kevin Knight to break free, and then you get the Speedball hot tag, and then all hell breaks loose. You got people diving in and out of the ring. You got a big drop kick by Bailey to take down Nick Jackson. You start to see them trying to go for more bang for your buck, but he counters a double sunset flip of all things to hit the moonsault knees. And then you have Brody King coming in trying to clear out house with Josh Alexander and Hechicero. Big cannonball to Hechicero. Bandito making a blind tag, and that huge dive to the outside as well. It's just mayhem and foolishness back and forth. At one point, Bandito hits the moonsault and battery on Hechicero for a near fall, and then towards the end of the match, you start to see. It looks like it was an indie taker, I think, because it led to Josh Alexander suplexing. Was it on Mike Bailey? Or was it on Brody King? I'm trying to think who the. Or no, it was on Kevin Knight.
No, it was on.
Wasn't it?
It was on Bandito. Wait, are you talking who took the who?
Yeah, who took the pile driver?
Oh my, yeah, yeah.
My notes are all over the place, guys. See, this is what happens when you have 8 men in the ring and you have big spot after big spot. You just kind of have the moves and not necessarily who's the recipient.
It was Bandito, I believe.
Because it leads in Hechicero locking in a sleeper hold and he immediately passes out.
Yes,
so
because he was already basically out cold by the time he was in the sleeper. So I think it was Bandito that took all that.
Yeah, but all this to say, a lot of shenanigans in that match, but a very good match nonetheless. Heels win. Going to be interesting to see how the Young Bucks are going to rebuild themselves from the ground up as a humble men.
I'm sure they will.
I'm focusing on being a tag team again.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Look, and I'm in for this ride. I think they're going to take this really well, and they're going to make this really, really good, and it's going to be funny and hilarious. And they are just going to get they're just going to get all the shit they deserve for the next couple months or month, and it's going to be a real good time.
Do you think it leads to them versus the Hurt Syndicate?
I don't know, because I feel like the FTR and something we'll talk about a little later in this show. I feel like that will probably have the titles at some point. I feel like.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I think the Bucks eventually will be, they'll be up and fighting for those, I think. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, after the break, we do have the return of the Rated R Superstar. It is everybody's favorite, Adam Copeland, whatever the hell his ring name is this week. But all I know is the crowd is singing their asses off to Metal Angus, as they should.
It was awesome.
As they should. I think the greatest wrestling theme song of all time.
I would not fight you. I would not fight you. That it's in the Mount Rushmore at worst.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But all this to say, he mentions how it's a cliche, but he does thank the crowd. People are wondering, like, why'd you go out to All In to save Christian? He's like, I didn't go out there to save Christian Cage. Since I got to AEW, he's made my life nothing but miserable. He talked about how he's going to cripple me and become the father to my own daughters. And then on top of that, he hijacks my world title match and then gets choked out in the process because he can't handle the fact that if it was anybody else with the world title, he wouldn't care. But if it's Copeland, it's all jealousy because he would have beat him for the big one first. But, I mean, he doesn't blame Nick Wayne. He doesn't blame Shayna Wayne. Doesn't blame Kip Sabian. None of them. It's all ego, and he really hopes that Christian's pulling his big cranium out of his ass. And then the big thing that he mentions that he came back for, it was for FTR. He wants to get his hands on them. He wants to make sure that he can end FTR. He mentioned that when he got that dream back 5 years ago, getting ready in another company, he even pitched the idea of them becoming a trio in AEW while he was still under a WWE contract and everything too. But it was just so many complaints once they finally started to do it that they weren't getting their shine. In the tag division, they were in his shadow. They felt like glorified edgeheads, which I didn't think they were going to be able to say on AEW TV.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm glad they did. But all of this is that he mentions that they're megalomaniacs. They're not going to blame anyone else. Or they're not going to blame themselves because they can't look in the mirror and do that. They're going to blame everything else. And he mentions how they put him away for 4 months, but any time that he can get in the ring, it could be his last, knowing his history. Mm-hmm. So it's not only 4 months that came and went. It was 4 months he didn't have. So he's not back to wrestle them. He's not trying to keep them from the tag titles, but he's trying to end them, which leads us to Stokely Hathaway coming out, flanked by security in this very loud Nickelodeon blimp-esque tracksuit of his.
Yeah. Kevin Koo, by the way. Violence is Forever was one of those,
I noticed that. Standing right next to him.
Yeah, Violence is fucking forever, man. That was cool.
Which, if you haven't seen a good match of Kevin Koo's, I think he also faced Kevin Blackwood. I forgot what show it was for, but go look for that on YouTube, guys. Kevin Koo is the real fucking deal.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Yes. But nonetheless, Stokely's talking about how when Cope came back at All In, he mentioned Spike. That lovely nailed 2x4 that he used as a weapon. But he mentions that weapon's a liability. And that he was talking to Tony Khan, and that Tony Khan got 3 anonymous emails complaining about the actions of one Adam Copeland. So the thing that he mentions as he's saying all this behind the security guards in the ring, by the way.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Never one to shy away from confrontation, but he does mention that moving forward, if Copeland tries to interfere with FTR in any of their matches, or if he even tries to attack them, he's fired. He mentions that FTR isn't afraid of Copeland. They just need to look out and focus on those tag titles. But it's Adam Copeland that comes back saying that, you look and he sounds like an angry Oompa Loompa, which riles up the crowd. He does get confirmation, so if he gets near FTR, he's fired, but not you, Stokely. So a couple security guards get taken out. The ones that are at ringside hightail it out of there. And he just sees Stokely accepting his fate. He takes a big spear from Copeland. And then he's talking and basically saying it doesn't matter. He's going to find a way. But here's my thing. Great promo. I like how it ended, but why does AEW not have an on-screen authority figure? Because I don't buy that Stokely's going to be the communicator for Tony Khan for something like this. I need to hear from the horse's mouth, especially when we're talking about career implications.
Yeah, that was part of it for me. I was like, why? I felt like, why wouldn't Tony say that? Or why wouldn't there be like somebody speaking for Tony saying that? Like, are we just supposed to believe that what Stokely Hathaway said is completely on the level? That's what we're supposed to believe? This guy? That doesn't make sense. I'm obviously we'll see more of this, but I'm calling a little bit of bullshit.
Oh no, I said it myself. That's a load of bullshit. So
yeah.
And they need to clarify this next week. I feel like you have Tony on camera or something, and he confirms because he knows firsthand what happens when a tag team can get out of control or if something happens because he's gotten spiked by the Bucks. So
yeah, or at least have commentary. Tony Schiavone, somebody say, "Hey, I just spoke to Tony Khan in my ear. He said that is legitimate." Whatever, like something. They didn't even do that. So it was just like we're supposed to just completely believe this slimy heel character that everything he said about that is true.
Yeah, no, Stokely's word has never been a gospel for anything. So
exactly. So
no. So that'll be a bookmark for next week for us to discuss. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I will say before we move on, I do think that this is one of Adam Copeland's best promos since being in AEW. I thought this was very good.
I agree.
I thought this was very good. This was, and I'm not doing it to compare, but this felt like Edge. Like this felt like an actual like Adam Copeland Edge like promo. I liked it a lot. I thought it was one of his better ones.
Well, I don't even think it's just that. I think now he's at a story where he could actually blur the lines of kayfabe a little bit because he's letting them peel back the curtain a little bit. He's talking about real shit because, they did train together when he was getting cleared for the Royal Rumble. Yeah, they did have everything going on with the Hurricane in Nashville and they were doing that fundraiser. So, they've been tight for the last few years.
Oh, yeah.
And for everything to play out the way it did, he has every reason to try to get something back for them. But I still don't buy this bullshit stipulation because that's what it is.
Yeah. I think something will come out where we'll find out that Stokely was lying at some point, and then Edge will attack, and then that'll be,
Yeah, right now it just feels like a shitty game of telephone, but
yeah.
We come back from the break. We have Mark Briscoe backstage, and he's saying, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And then he says, well, if it walks like a bitch and talks like a bitch, it's a bitch. And he's talking about MJF for dodging him in the Casino Gauntlet. He talked about how he only had two things he needed to do in that match, and that was to whoop MJF's ass and to win, but he accomplished neither one. And the thing is that he's only just getting started because MJF stooped so low. He brought up Jay Briscoe so many times. And he mentions that, I did make my AEW debut under unfortunate circumstances, but the world got to experience them boys on a bigger stage. But Max has only had a taste of that. So he's going to be coming back and he's going to be getting some of his and he's going to make him pay for his sins. So I feel like unhinged, violent Mark Briscoe going after MJF. Yikes.
Yeah. And I loved how this was a different side of Mark Briscoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was serious, he was violent, and it really felt like, he said in this promo, he goes, "You invoke Jay's spirit. That's the other side of them boys that you haven't seen yet." And it felt like he had a little bit of Jay in him in this promo, the way he was talking and the seriousness, and it felt like Mark Briscoe, but it felt like there was Jay in there. Like it was,
Yeah.
And I say it every week. I say every time Mark Briscoe's on my TV screen, I have a good time. And I think that I think this feud with MJF is leveling up Mark Briscoe.
Oh, I agree. His stock is rising a lot more in AEW because of it. Because we didn't even get this side of Mark Briscoe when he was the Ring of Honor World Champion, and especially the lackluster way that reign went. Not only just not really doing anything for Ring of Honor with it, and then to lose it to Chris Jericho the way that he did. Like, you kind of had to rebuild Mark Briscoe from scratch. Yeah. And I think this is a phenomenal way to do it.
I feel like this is, I'm not saying that they're going to do this or anything, but I feel like these type of promos, and if he continues to kind of do what he's been doing here and they go with it, like he's a guy that I think could have like that underdog run to the top of the company. Like people would get behind him and he could be like the guy. I really feel that way. Yeah, man, this was really good. This was really, really good.
For sure. And speaking of things that were really, really good, we have ourselves a women's 4-way match with the winner receiving, a small lump sum of $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we keep getting these kind of money matches, instead of, title implications. Maybe, there's a little championship that kind of fell to the wayside during All In. It's called the TBS Championship.
Yeah.
I know Mercedes Moné did not win the world title, but two things. One, holy shit, that match.
Very good.
That was match of the night for me.
It's right up there. I have that and the tag match with the Bucks and Swerve and Ospreay. Those were the two. Beautiful. They were beautiful.
Yeah. But just everything about that match, I wouldn't change it for a thing.
It was excellent.
Yeah.
It was very, very good.
But now that we have Mercedes with a loss in her AEW record, getting pinned clean in the ring 1-2-3 by Toni Storm, we got to revitalize the TBS title picture. So, I mean, these are 4 great candidates to do it. We have ourselves Tekla, the Toxic Spider, going against Queen Aminata, going against Chris Statlander, going against Willow Nightingale. And this was action-packed from the get-go. I mean, everybody was going after everybody in this match. I mean, at one point you had Statlander doing a big vertical suplex at Tekla. You saw Willow trying to break up a pin attempt that Aminata had on Stat with a senton, but she instead hits Statlander and goes for the cover. Aminata trying to break that up, goes for a double stomp, but gets Statlander and goes for the cover again for that to get broken up. So I like the fact that we had a little back and forth there between Willow trying to do a little bit of a one-upswomanship. At one point, Aminata takes down Willow with a snapmare. And I don't know what Aminata calls it, but I'm going to call it this. I called it a paddleboard head scissors.
Oh, the butt bump. Like the butt bump thing? Yeah.
I think that's the best way I could describe it because it literally looks like a paddleboard.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I don't mind that.
Yeah. But, I'll go for it. I don't know.
I was just going to say, it felt like she was, and they mentioned it on commentary, it felt like, because she's been doing that move for a little bit now.
Yeah.
It felt like she did this one longer than ever in this one. I was like, you are doing that way too long.
I don't think the Chicago crowd was mad about that, though, JPJ.
I mean, I can't blame them, but still, it's fine.
Hey, use what you got. And as that's going on, it is Tekla that does break it up, though. You see Willow trying to take down Tekla. She does with the rack attack. Which, if I had a nickel for every time that I saw a rack attack or an attempt at a rack attack on TV this week, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't saying much, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah,
but this one actually fully connects. She looks like she's going for a Death Valley driver on the apron, Aminata, but she gets a headbutt and takes her down. Aminata's climbing up to the second rope and gets knocked onto the apron by Tekla, who cross-bodies Willow and Statlander before the break on the outside. We get back in the ring. Statlander is suplexing Aminata on the floor, and then in the ring you see Tekla trying to go a little 2-for-1 for Tornado DDT to Willow, but they fight back out of there. Aminata's chopping the shit out of Tekla. It looks like Tekla's going to go for some sort of a spider suplex. She does actually get it, though, and then Willow's going for the Death Valley driver again on Queen Aminata as Statlander's going for a tombstone, but Tekla breaks through and all 3 women collide into each other. And then you just see like a big flurry of moves where Tekla gets speared by Statlander, Willow forearms her headbutt from Aminata, and then neck breaker, and then all that stuff. All 4 women are down. Crowd's hyped. It's a good match. At one point, Willow's hitting the babe with the power bomb, but gets Aubrey Edwards gets pulled out of the ring by Chris Statlander. So Willow's like, "What the fuck?" Obviously, they start fighting up the ramp, leaving Tekla and Aminata in the ring. And as referee Aubrey Edwards is dealing with one Miss Sky Blue who comes down the ramp and is trying to cause a distraction. Out in the other end of the ring, you have Julie Hart black misting Queen Aminata, which leads to Tekla getting the 3 and the $100,000. And it seems like Julia Hart has a new ally.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this. I've been impressed by Tekla. And we talked about it last week. That entrance is just so badass.
Oh, agreed.
The music and just the camera upside down. Oh, man, just cool. She's very impressive in the ring. She has an intensity to her that I appreciate. Like, she's always going at 100 miles an hour. And everything she does looks like she's trying to win. You know, like she's trying to, ruin her opponent and win. I very much appreciate that. I love Queen Aminata as well. I was hoping that when Stat and Willow kind of removed themselves, I was hoping Aminata was going to get the win.
I thought she was going to as well, yeah.
Yeah, and that because I really, really like Queen Aminata, and I was hoping she was going to get the win, but I am super intrigued about Julia Hart and Sky Blue kind of getting a friend to whatever they got going on there. I'm very intrigued by that because Tekla, the personality feels like it could fit in there. Oh, and she's a different vibe, right? Like Julia Hart's this like slow and like calming, and then you got this psycho Tekla in that group. I think that would be a good dynamic. Yeah,
I like the fact that there's more layers to that group. I mean, I've seen a little bit of Tekla stuff from when she was in Stardom, so obviously in the ring she ain't nothing to fuck with, but I'm excited to see what they can do on the character side of things and kind of where this is going to lead, because I thought that maybe her and Athena could have something going on because they had that great match in Japan after Wrestle Dynasty. But I know for me it's going to be interesting to see because, I mean, we do kind of mention it. We didn't mention it on the show, but Athena did make her way into that Casino Gauntlet, got a huge pop in the hometown, and she won the damn thing.
She won the friggin' thing, yeah. I didn't see that one coming. I didn't think they were going to do it.
I think that was my prediction, though, is that she was going to win.
Yeah, I'm glad they did. But just the way she had always been booked when it came to AEW, I was like, I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And I saw it, and I'm happy I did.
Which, quick question, which Casino Gauntlet did you prefer, the men or the women?
I like the women's one better.
Agreed.
I thought they were both good, though.
They were both good, but I feel like the story of the women's one and like the entrance that we got made it a little bit better because you saw Shiori coming in from Japan. You got to see Alex Windsor finally make her AEW debut and stuff like that. So those were nice surprises in there. I mean, every woman in that match busted their ass.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I thought that was my favorite of the two by far.
Yeah. But does lead us after the break. We have a little opera box promo moment from Timeless Tony Storm, who says, these are her words, not mine. This whore you adore, the slut you can't rebut, this bitch you want to itch, this skank you want to spank, this trollop you can't wallop, this tramp is still champ. Yeah. And she does thank Mercedes Moné for going all in with her. But, she mentioned that they did everything that they set out to do. But in case Mercedes forgot, she did make, Tony did say if she makes one false move that she'd eat Mercedes alive. And darling, she was delicious. If you want to come back for seconds, from Tony's lips to Mercedes, this buffet is always open. Although it is sad to announce that Luther did suffer some sort of injury in the line of duty that's going to require a reattachment surgery. Do with that what you will. She does mention that her tits are pointing to the future and that there's so many people with knives. And she ought to be careful now because this is the big one. And as she's saying that, you see Billy Starks and the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, the Fallen Goddess Athena. Now she's saying that she's the big one as the forever Ring of Honor Champion. She says no one's going to remember Tony and that she will be the forever AEW Women's World Champion. And also mentions that Mina Shirakawa is out injured after All In when she took the O-Face at All In, which is also interesting because Mina is now the interim World Television Champion in Ring of Honor after Red Velvet got injured. So I don't know what the hell's going on there, but that'll be that's an Honor Club problem. We don't talk about Ring of Honor on this show, but she did mention that it means nobody can help Toni Storm, and Athena said that it's up to her when she wants to take her shot. It could be an All In, or not All In. It could be an All Out. It could be in London for Forbidden Door. And then it looks like she's signing a contract saying, ooh, it could be here, but it's time for Tony to stop looking for her happy endings because her demise and her murder are here. Which leads to Tony Storm saying that if Athena's ready, she's sweaty. She's willing, she's thrilling. And if she's able, she'll bend her over the table because she is timeless. Yeah. And we find out that next week it's Tony Storm versus Billy Starks.
Yeah, very good. I'm very excited about that match next week. Oh,
yes. Some might say that segment was a cat's meow.
It was. He was like, I heard you were talking about Tony. Tony's his favorite. Tony is his favorite.
Yeah. She'll wail if you give her tail, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think that was in the promo, but we'll go with that.
Yeah, no, Tony Storm is just excellent. I'm very excited for that match with Billy Starks, and I'm thrilled that they didn't waste any time. Athena right on the show tonight. Boom. We're doing this. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I'm very interested for that match next week. I really like Billy Starks. I very, very much.
I do too. Now, my thing is, I'm very curious if Athena hits 1,000 days as the Ring of Honor champion before I would assume she might be the one to take the title off of Tony at this point.
I think there's a good chance she could be. Yes, 100%. But I do think she's going to hit it. I think at this point, she's got to hit 1,000 days, right?
Yeah, because I think she's just about to hit 950 this coming week. So
that's only a couple more months theoretically before you would do something to get that offer if you wanted to, or if you were going to make her a double. I don't know, but I do think Athena has a very good chance to beat Tony.
Yeah. So my thing is, if they do make Athena a double champion, I don't think it's going to be for very long. I think they might go like similar, like when Asuka was on that massive streak in NXT, just have her vacate it.
Okay.
Because at this point, they've done so many different challenges for Athena over the years. It's just kind of no one's been able to do it, not unless it's Billy Starks that does it herself.
I was just going to say, what about Billy? I know some people think it should be Billy.
Now here's the problem.
They've done that before, and everyone thought it was going to be Billy, and she didn't win that time. But could they do it again where she actually does?
Well, here's the thing. Billy's already faced her twice.
Yeah.
In the main event of ROH Final Battle twice, no less. One in Texas, one at the Hammerstein Ballroom. If they drag this out to December for a third pay-per-view main event between Billy and Athena, and Billy Starks does not win the title, I'm going to lose my mind.
Exactly. Like Billy would have to win that. Would have to.
Yeah, I mean, what other option is there? Because you haven't built anyone else up in Ring of Honor to that level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a damn shame, because apparently now Deonna Purrazzo has been making her way through Ring of Honor. Because here's the other thing. They announced the Women's Pure Wrestling Championship in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And they're having pure rules matches, which I'm all for. However, we still don't know when they're going to crown the champion. Because you think they would have did it for Supercard, but no. They didn't even have like a tournament format. We don't know how they're going to decide the champion. We've been talking about this damn belt for 3 months now, and there's nothing going on with it.
Really? No new, no.
Huh. Mom's weird. The word. And then on top of that, why is Deonna on Ring of Honor, not in AEW?
Yeah. That's another one that I just do not understand.
Why is Nyla Rose getting tweeted like, hey, when are you going to be back on TV? And she's basically just like, fuck if I know.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
But Taya Valkyrie has a match on Collision this Saturday against Alex Windsor. So, like, seeing Taya back on AEW TV is kind of refreshing. And it also seems like it's just a straight-up singles match. She's not with MXM. She's not with Johnny TV. So, but it's like, you guys have all of these talent, and you're just not doing anything with it. And then on top of that, you're continually seeing them go above and beyond whenever you give them that moment on Dynamite. Like tonight was one of the better Dynamite matches I've seen for the women's division all year. And you're still only giving them one match on Dynamite.
Yeah.
But you're going to double down and say, like, we have the best women's roster and everything, too. I'm not saying you have to go full evolution right away. I do think they do deserve an all-women's show at some point. I think they deserve women's tag titles at one point. But at minimum, moving forward, we got to get 2 matches on Dynamite. We just have to.
Yeah. I fully agree. I don't know how we're not already there.
And then on top of that, if you're having overruns and everything, too, there's really no reason for it.
No. Yeah, it shouldn't be hard to fit at least one more women's match on the show, period. It shouldn't be that hard to do.
Yeah, some of these backstage that you're doing, you could do it on socials. You could do it on YouTube or stuff. You could do some extra stuff on Collision. But I'm just saying, you guys have been talking up a big game for 6 years, and you're still not doing right. You have a cornucopia of talent that's proven to you that they can carry that. Just give them the chance.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. And I loved All In. I thought it was excellent. But to me, I felt like there should have been another second women's match. Besides, like the Gauntlet wasn't a good enough second women's match to like.
The
The
Gauntlet
match
felt
was
like a
good.
cop out.
Yeah, like that. There should have been a second women's match, and then you know what I mean? Like, and it
Yeah.
was just, I don't know. Like again, I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time because we keep on seeing this division get stronger and stronger talent wise, but we're not really seeing that progression turning into more airtime on the weekly, just on the shows, period. And I think that has been a long standing issue. And it should have already been corrected, but it needs to be corrected as quick as possible. Like there's no excuse for it.
More matches, more meaningful matches, not just like throwaway multi-person matches, because that ain't doing anything either.
Yeah.
Like if you give us a reason to invest in the women's division, we'll prove that we do.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like the fans will buy into it if you give them a reason to buy into it. Now, a match like tonight, people will buy into that because that match was awesome. But again, it needs to be more. It needs to be more than that.
Yeah, but
it just comes off as the token women's match of the show, and you don't want it to feel that way, as good as the match is. But that's what it feels like. Oh, here's the one women's match at 9. I mean, this one was earlier, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it just feels that way, and it shouldn't feel that way 6 years into what we're doing here. Yeah. So.
And then after the match, or after Tony's segment, we do have what's left of the patriarchy backstage. You have Kip Sabian, you have Nick Wayne, and Mother Wayne, Shayna. Kip basically saying that it was him that chose Christian and talks about how they've been taking bullet after bullet, but it seems like Christian was the one that was pulling the trigger. It was never really about Christian in the end. It was about helping his brother Nick, and it's not about a patriarch, but a matriarch. And Shayna's talked about how Nick is not only her son, but their prodigy, and Nick says that the answer is simple. Christian was past his expiration date to the point where he became a liability to the patriarchy when he ventured on his own path and tried to become world champion and failed. He talked about how Christian was saying, how many world titles did you win, Nick? But Nick's only 20. It's not about how many he's won, it's how many he will win. How many more accomplishments he's going to have in his young career and how much better he's going to be. And that Christian Cage made this monster. Now he has to live with Nick being the new face of AEW now and forever.
Are they gonna call this the matriarchy? Is that what we're gonna be calling this from here on out? Yeah. That's the vibe that I got. Like obviously she spoke the least of the three, but the vibe that I got was she was running the show.
Yeah.
She was running the show.
And honestly, I didn't know Shayna Wayne could really cut a promo like that.
No, she did pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
And actually seeing Kip Sabian get to cut a promo feels like he's been like fourth wheel to the patriarchy this whole time. So I'm hoping we get him wrestling again.
I agree.
What the fuck do you mean to tell me that Kip Sabian has not really had a match in how long?
It's gotta be over a year easy, right?
You know, let me go on Cage Match and I'm gonna look him up. So we do this. We're going to go wrestlers. The last match that Kip Sabian had was in February. He was in a 6-man tag when they were facing the Ops. So, but aside from that, it looked like it was another tag match in January.
All right.
And then a 4-way in September before that. August, just very few and far between, it seems like, with the booking, but still, we're talking 5 months later, and he hasn't wrestled once.
Yeah, that's weird. So hopefully we get more of him because of this.
Yeah, between last All In to this one, he's had 3 matches.
Wow. Yeah. See, that's not. Yeah.
And he hasn't won a single one of them.
Well, I assume that'll change a little bit due to this. It feels like that they're gonna do some stuff with these guys here. So.
I sure hope so, but
yeah,
it does lead us into our next segment, which is the new AEW Unified Champion, the first ever, Kazuchika Okada, accompanied by Don Callis, who's still holding the Continental and the International title belts around his shoulders. Okada has new theme music. I'm in the is it the minority that likes it? Because I think it's actually pretty damn good.
I do think it's at least from what I saw on my social media feed, it felt like the minority liked it. I had no problem with it. I thought it sounded pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, we did find out from Mikey Ruckus that it's called Curiosity by One OK Rock featuring Pale Dusk and Chico Carlito. So it looks like they're licensing this one. I don't think it's an AEW original one. So I'm going to try to.
Yeah, it is a licensed song. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll listen to it after the show. But from what I heard, I think it works great for a wrestling theme.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better than hearing like the change jingling for the Rainmaker.
I like the new board that they had for him too. It felt like it was a brand new presentation all the way around for him. I like the new screens. I had no problem with the theme. Don't get me wrong. I loved his old theme, the Rainmaker theme. I liked it. It was a catchy little, bop there, but you got to evolve. You got to evolve as you keep going. And this is clearly, he's the first unified champion. This is like the next step in Okada's career. It feels like, at least here in North America. So give him a little sprucing up.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just a standard squash match here. I mean, they didn't even announce who his jobber's name was, which is funny to see. But I mean, it's like Bell, a couple moves here, and then a Rainmaker later. Okada wins. And post-match, we see him calling out Swerve Strickland by saying, "Hey, you screwed my friends, the Young Bucks, you bitch." Which leads to Swerve and Prince Nana coming out. And, they're doing their entrance and everything too. And then Swerve says, yeah, I did do that. What are you going to do about it, bitch? And then instead of responding, Okada and Don Callis, they just leave. So
yeah. Sign me up for Swerve and Okada, please. Sign me up. Once he said that, I said, "Oh boy!" And then Swerve did not wait around. He came right out, and I was like, "Yes, please." So
I
very excited.
All for the agenda of both Swerve and Hangman holding separate championships for the time being.
Yes.
Because it really does feel like the unified title is going to be held as 1B to the World Championship being 1A, which is, I think, the way it should be. I think AEW has deserved 2 main championships for the longest now, and it feels like they finally have that. But
yeah, I agree.
It does lead us into our main event of the evening. Some trios action. You have your new world champion, Hangman Adam Page, Mark Briscoe, and 1/3 of the trios champions, Powerhouse Hobbs, going against the Death Riders. And I mean, it was pretty much a standard trios affair. Yep. I mean, you saw Powerhouse Hobbs kind of trying to get an early flurry going because he's trying to get his revenge for Samoa Joe getting taken out with that Pillmanizer that we saw. But, I mean, eventually it just gets overpowered by all 3 members of the Death Riders into the break. You see him get sent into the steel steps and everything, too. And then it's just coming back. He was really the main one that was focused for a good portion of the match until it seemed like he was able to kind of break through and get that big hot tag into Mark Briscoe, who starts taking out everybody as well. You see him going for a froggy bow at one point, but Marina rakes his eyes on the top rope, and it leads to a second commercial break.
Yeah.
Which I was expecting for the main event at 10:06.
Yeah. This bothered you. This bothered you, did it not?
It's like, if we're going to go this late, do we need a 3-segment match?
Yeah.
And if it is 3 segments, why are we putting the commercial there?
Yeah. Yeah. It was very bizarre. This is our last break, and I looked at my phone because I popped in. I'm getting ready to pop into the room, and I'm like, all right, show's going to end soon. And then they go, all right, this is the last break. I look at my phone. It's 10:04 or 10:06.
Yeah, like the cable guide's already on whatever syndicated bullshit you guys have on next. Like, what?
Yeah. I was just like, all right, so this is going for a bit then. All right. That's what I said. So,
like, it's getting to the point where, if AEW is going to keep doing the overrun thing, either extend your time with Turner by a half hour, go do
10:30. Yeah,
it's oddly working well for Monday Night Raw. Why not?
Yeah, 2.5 hours seems like a good time frame. Just ask them to go. I'm sure they'll be okay with it.
When in Rome, but. Alas, we do come back from this final commercial break, I say with an eye roll, and we see that now Mark Briscoe's getting locked in an STF by Jon Moxley. At one point, the crowd was chanting, "You tapped out" to Mox and everything, too, but it seems like eventually a pin attempt gets broken up there. Hobbs is trying to interfere with that, and he gets taken to the outside along with Hangman, and then he gets sent into the other ring steps this time. So that's over there. You see, at one point, it looked like Mox had Mark Briscoe up for a superplex, but he ends up biting his forehead on that bandage to try to break out of there. And eventually, Hangman does get the hot tag, and it's just everybody's getting something. Claudio's getting something. Yuta's getting something. It looks like at one point that Hangman was going to go for a big pop-up powerbomb for a pin, but that got broken up by Claudio. Yuta ends up hitting that assisted splash for a 2 count. Mark Briscoe comes back to fight the Death Riders on the outside, and it sets up Hangman hitting a big moonsault. He's going for a buckshot in the ring, but Mox ends up biting at the forehead of Hangman, who gets a spine buster by Hobbs, and then gets the Psycho knee from Wheeler Yuta, who gets a froggy bow from Mark Briscoe, and then at one point, it seems like Claudio gets Briscoe out of the ring. He's trying to counter the buckshot lariat into a neutralizer, but instead Hangman gets the win with a jackknife cover of all things, the dreaded roll-up. It's finding its way everywhere in AEW. And then immediately after the match, Briscoe and Hobbs are thrown to the outside. It's a 3-on-1 assault on Hangman Adam Page. And then the lights go out. The lights go back on. You can see Darby Allin hanging above the boxes and the crowd over there. And as that distraction's going off, Hangman hits a buckshot lariat on John Moxley to send the crowd home happy and all that stuff. But it definitely feels like Darby is spliced into whatever's going on with the world title now, which, I mean, we all saw coming, so...
Yeah, I thought so too. It definitely feels like he's haunting John Moxley. Like that's what is going on here. So I'm interested in that. I was very interested the whole first, 5 to 10 minutes of this match. It looked like Mox had a lot of trepidation about getting in that ring. You know what I mean? Like it looked like he would get tagged or he was going to go in the ring, but then he would just kind of, whatever and just not or leave the ring. And that was a different element because Mox is Mox. He ain't scared of nothing, And I don't scared wasn't the word. He wasn't scared tonight, but he did. It looked like he was in his own head a lot the first 10 minutes or so of this match, And
they were still feeling the effects of obviously going to war on Saturday. I mean, Hangman had a limp this whole show actually from the get-go. So clearly they left it all in the ring for the sake of putting on a great show. I think that's the way it should be, but ultimately I'm very curious to see what route we're going with, whether there's going to be something for Forbidden Door, if it's just going to go into All Out, because who knows what the hell the world title picture is going to be at Forbidden Door, because that always seems to be like that. Are we going to get somebody from another company showing up? Or do we keep some stuff just AEW? I don't know.
For me, just based on time frame, I feel like they should be building to All Out.
Yeah.
And then Forbidden Door should just kind of be like a Super Show-esque kind of thing that's kind of separate from the, like you can continue to build your stories at Forbidden Door maybe, like by, some certain things, but to me that's what I would do is I would be like, no, all of our AEW feuds and matches are happening at All Out. And then Forbidden Door will be our guys versus other companies, guys and girls.
The only problem is just All Out very late this year. So, I mean, you have 2 full months until then. So, I mean, some stuff is probably going to carry into Forbidden Door. I feel like, if anything, if you want to make it seem like a Forbidden Door match for the world title, you bring in Gabe Kidd.
No. Yeah. I wouldn't hate it. I mean, I'm also not if you have a 10 match card and 8 of the matches are Forbidden Door type matches, then you have the AEW world title and the AEW women's title on there or something like that. Like that's not a bad thing. It's an AEW show.
Exactly.
So, but obviously the Forbidden Door shows have been great, but I don't remember, have there been AEW storied or AEW versus AEW matches on these, or are they always usually every match is your guys versus our guys?
Let me go back to last year. We had, well, I mean, we did have Swerve versus Will Ospreay for the world title last year.
Okay. Yeah.
And Ospreay was signed then, so.
Okay. So then, they can do that. Yeah. So why not? Yeah. I don't know what you do as far as Mox gets his rematch, maybe.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, you had it looked like so you had the original formation of the Ops going against Learning Truths. That's another AEW on AEW violence. Let me go back to the year before. So if we go to 2023, we had you had Danielson versus Okada there. I mean, it looked like you just kind of had like some stuff with AEW only. Like Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale was for a women's world title at that point. But you had the Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay. All right. So so there's been precedent before, so they can do
that. So, I mean, they could do whatever the hell they want with it. It's their pay-per-view anyway, so I'm not concerned. But
that is true.
It is going to be interesting because we have so much to go through over these next few weeks. So seeing everything that plays out with the Chicago residency, I'm very excited for that. Because, I mean, Chicago's always kind of been their home away from home from Jacksonville, because it felt like if they weren't at Daly's place, they were at the Now Arena.
Yeah, it really did.
I mean, not a bad thing. I mean, every kind of company needs their own little bit of a hub, but to each their own. But that will do it for DynaMic'd Up tonight. Make sure that you guys are staying tuned with everything here at bodyslam.net on the YouTube side of things. There are shows for literally every wrestling show you could imagine, and then some. I know tomorrow afternoon, it's Potty Slam with Corey Hayes. It's Cassidy Haynes. And then on top of that, they have the Body Slam Patreon. So for $5 a month, if you want some scoops sent your way, Corey Hayes is just breaking shit left, right, and center. So.
Oh, yeah. He's killing it right now.
Yeah. Shout out to Corey. Also appearing everywhere, it seems like, on Body Slam. I know they had an Evolution post show that he appeared on, too. Obviously, he's a member of the Raw Dogs. But all this to say, JPJ, I know you always have something to plug. So what the hell's going on with you?
Yeah, tomorrow, 9 a.m. over on our pals Love Wrestling CA. I got Firmly Inc. with Drew Nicholas. And then tomorrow night, 8 p.m., the flagship show at Love Wrestling. Me and Pluggo between two beards. But if you follow me right here at JPJ Loves Gaming, you'll get all those notifications and fun stuff there. But that's where I'll be tomorrow, kind of my double dip day over on Love Wrestling morning and night. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then I know for me, this coming Monday, it is the season finale of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 10 this week. We're crowning a winner. It is myself. It is Auntie Collins at our local establishment for the Mother Tuck and Post show. Going to finish the season on Twitch because YouTube's not liking when we have to use some visual stimulus when it comes to talking about runways. But I mean, this episode we might be able to do on YouTube because it's really just talking about lip syncs. I don't think we really have much to show as far as slides, but regardless, come hang out if you want to break from the wrestling content. And then, as always, Wednesdays right here, bodyslam.net. But if you're ever curious to see what else I could be getting up to, sometimes I'm on Twitch, sometimes I'm just on other socials. You never really know with me. Jose in the Year will have everything there. I know I have some stuff coming down the pipeline, but a long way out. But who knows? You might be getting some sneak peeks of things very, very soon. But until then, we will see you guys next week for another DynaMic'd Up on this road to Forbidden Door. Everybody have a great night. We will see you then.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you!
Oh,
thank you!